Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It's your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment is what I do. You know, we had to have like a Black Panther topic. I can't go through the entire week without expressing something Black Panther related. It just wouldn't be me. And furthermore, that's really what y'all come to this page for, right? Black Panther rhetoric and all things Black Panther like, Pantherish, Pantheresque, Pantherific, T'Chalan. I got a million of them. Anywho, though, since there's been a lot of talk, a lot of babble on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere in general about there's no reason not to recast T'Challa cinematically, and there isn't. And trust me, I'm not harping on it, but this logical, modern jewel of an idea just hit me, and I thought to myself, have I heard anybody else say this? Have I heard nobody else talk about this? I don't know. Everybody's been coming up with ways to bring T'Challa back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe because Toussaint is not T'Challa. He bears his name, but he is not T'Challa. So if you ain't got a son in the comics, then you shouldn't have a son cinematically. See what I'm saying? But anywho, I have 3 words for you. And hopefully they will put what I'm about to say in perspective and open your brain up like, damn, for real, dude. King Solomon's frogs. Oh. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Don't worry. I see it. I see y'all squirming out there in Rock With Me land. But okay, I promise, and it's gonna make total sense. But before we do that, I need y'all to do what you always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share all of this. Okay. King Solomon's frogs. For all of you Black Panther fans who jumped on board after 2016, you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. But like we used to say back in the day, I can show you better than I can tell you. What the hell is King Solomon's frog? We didn't know anything about King Solomon's frogs when we were introduced to King Solomon's frog. It was in this comic book right here. Black Panther #1, all the way back in 1977. Artwork by Jack Kirby, done only as Jack Kirby can do it. Those coming at you scenes, those battle sequences. But I digress. Anyhow, you see that little frog that T'Challa is reaching for? That is one of a set, and also I hear of a trio of frogs. But anyway, these frogs possess the power to transport a being through time and or space. Now, here's the thing. You have to have both together in order to be able to do both, because one frog will only allow you to travel through time. And then at that, it will bring a being through time to you if you don't have the other frog. The other frog controls space. So teleport, transport, he can do that across universal distances. But coupled with that time frog, it can travel not only distance, but through universes and multiverses and through time in said universes. Oh, okay. See what I'm getting at? Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead, give you a little brief King Solomon's Frog history. On the cover there, you see Princess Zonda and Abner Little, two people who hung out with Black Panther back in the day when he was stoic and serious and strange. But anyways, here Mr. Little is explaining the origin of King Solomon's Frog. And interesting to know that Abner Little knows of his grandfather, Azari. And looky there, he once owned one of King Solomon's frogs. So technically, right here, the legend, mythos of King Solomon's frog begins fittingly in the pages of Black Panther. And literally, anytime these frogs are mentioned, it is either in a Black Panther comic book or Black Panther peripheral. So, in other words, Black Panther ends up in it. You see what I'm saying? So, you're not, we've already linked the frogs and T'Challa together. So, there, we know his grandfather used to own them. There's your end. Now, here in Black Panther #2, the frog we see, it's the time frog because he has summoned a being 6 million years in the future. And it looks like it's a whole problem. But T'Challa ends up one-shotting this being, so it's not that big of a deal. And now here in the Christopher Priest run of Black Panther, issue number 47, we see a time-displaced T'Challa along with Agent Ross and Thor, who was also in that time period at the same time as T'Challa was. So we know these frogs, or the one frog, can transport people through time. Now, let's see some space. Okay, here we go. Fantastic Four, number 546. One of T'Challa's chieftains is handing him both frogs. There you go. And now he's in Wakanda right now. But if we look up a couple pages later, here comes T'Challa halfway across the galaxy, ready to jump on the Silver Surfer and drain him of all of his power. How'd he get there so fast? He had both frogs, so he was able to travel. It's apparently instantaneous. So now let's see an example of it doing both. And here he is breaking it down during his tenure as leader of the Fantastic Four. Don't know if they have been affected by the presence of the bug from the negative zone, but they seem almost consciously to be putting us in greater jeopardy with each use. Johnny wants to know what's the deal with them. One controls time, the other controls space. Used in concert, they can transport you through both. Bam! There you go. And they've been bouncing in between the negative zone and our universe in this particular comic. And now, to top everything off, we find The frogs are sentient. They can talk. Oh my goodness. So a lot of stuff they do willfully. And a lot of times they don't speak, they're purposely ignoring you. That makes for interesting cinema, does it not? And then you got a CGI frog and somebody talking, and boom, you got that hokey MCU stuff going on. Bottom line, why could you not use a time displaced T'Challa? Pull T'Challa, like everybody was saying, the blip thing, the blip thing, the blip. Pull T'Challa from a point in history, in time, before he dies. How hard is that to do? I mean, and it's all built in. You got it all built in with King Solomon's frogs. They literally work like infinity stones. So how hard would that be to do? Not at all. And with all of this, we don't want to recast, we don't want to recast, we don't want to recast. We are giving the wound, the grief, time to heal, or at the very least, cauterize. So when we do start talking about Black Panther or T'Challa cinematically again, it isn't like, no, 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 no. And then the people who are like that are going to look a little silly. So I would love to hear the excuses as to why this wouldn't work. What am I saying? Of course, there are going to be people who are going to come up with reasons why that's not the vision that they envisions. They want Toussaint to be the new Black Panther. Like you were sitting in a boardroom with them when they came up with that idea. You know what I'm saying? So let me say this. For all, and just while I'm on the tip, all people who are white aren't against Black people. And all people who are Black aren't for Black people. So you take that as you need to in terms of how come and why and what is and who's responsible. Bear that in mind as you move along. It's a sideways poke at Nate Moore. Sure is. Yeah. But bottom line, there is no reason story-wise why you can't have a T'Challa cinematically. So y'all tell me what it is. A Black man in a position of power? Does that scare folks? He's got too much technology at his disposal. He's got too many things he could do. He could fight men. He could fight aliens. He could fight gods. Oh, that sounds too much like Tony Stark. There's only room for one person like that in MCU, and he's dead, maybe possible. Wait, they both are. Oh my, figure it out. Anyway, there you go. King Solomon's frogs, a very easy end for T'Challa. That's it for now. But fret not. I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.